Hello everybody, Happy New Year's, it's Good as Naz, and I kind of had a bad feeling about my art this year because I had a pretty sudden change in style, but looking back, I made a lot of progress. So this is just a video just showing on the floor here is just like everything I've drawn this year except for a few random things which went missing. And yeah, I just want to go through everything from start to finish. And it's going to be cool. Well, maybe not quite from start to finish, it's a bit messed up. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go through super fast because there's quite a lot here. So I think let's just start with some of these big pieces. Okay, this was near the start of the year. And I was still working on pencil drawing then. And, okay, the drawing's actually, well, I mean, in hindsight, in my opinion, I liked it. Well, I do like it, but at the time, I was really hard on myself while I was drawing it. And I was just like, no, it's not good enough. I think I redid it around 3 times before getting to this. And I was still criticizing myself about the bird. But, I mean, in hindsight, it was a pretty good illustration. And similar story for the rabbit, except I still wasn't happy with it in the end. But it's not too bad looking back. I was a little bit hard on myself. This one here was for a competition, and I didn't win. I did get a finalist place though, and it was pretty cool. Like, I got invited to a fancy opening night, and there were canapes, and yeah. I'm gonna go over those later. This was for another competition. It was a children's book illustration competition, and the person who won was like 7 years old. And makes me feel kind of crap. Nah, it's just because it was really not my style, and I don't want to do things which aren't my style anymore. So, anyway, this was a pretty happy moment for me. So, it was my first ever commission from a complete stranger. Some person called Abby Zaga, I'll put a link to his page, created this character called Zeke, and commissioned me to draw it for him. And yeah, it was really nice, and it was my first commission, and it was really cool. Then this one, again, another one which I really beat myself up over when I was doing it. Looking back, it's not the best piece I've done, but it's interesting, and I reckon I could make it a lot better with some reworking. So, like, I don't even have to redo it. If I just darkened some areas, then I think I could improve it quite a lot. Alright, I'm going to move on to my first sketchpad. And I really need to go through these faster. So, we got a pretty cringy title page with some very smooth ballpoint pen line mark. So this was an animation guide for one of my other pieces, which I did a while ago. One of my friends animates. I shall put her YouTube channel in the description. It's awesome. Check it out. These were some portrait studies back at the start of the year. These were okay. It's Harry Potter, so this is Vernon. That's Hagrid. That's Harry, but he doesn't look like Harry. And I don't know who that person is. I liked this one. This was a lot of fun, and it still looks kind of impressive. Just because I crammed so much into the same page. It was actually a technical drawing. I wanted to research how actual steam engines work, and then wash batteries as well. That's an actual watch battery. I researched it. It's a bit out of proportion, but it is real. Thumbnails. This was I tried some world building stuff, so this was for one of those, and that was a finished world building illustration there. And this was another thing from the same world. These were some drawings of my family. I don't like the faces, but the gestures are pretty cool. Well, for my level back then. I didn't finish this, but I did like the sketch work on it. I was watching the BFG when I drew that. This was when I was in Cambodia, and it was the last drawing for 2016. So this is actually kind of in 2016. Actually, wait, no, this was in Malaysia. Yeah, I went on a Malaysia-Cambodia trip, end of 2016 and beginning of 2017. It was a really cool alleyway. This was still in Malaysia. This was at the top of the Twin Tower thingos. Yeah, and I have a cool photograph of it as well. I still like that photograph. This was the first drawing of 2017, and it was actually in Cambodia, in Phnom Penh, so the capital basically. And I really loved how the traffic wires there, they're all like, they're just like knotted together and so tangled. This was still in Cambodia. We went to Mondulkiri and saw elephants, and I sketched them. It was cool. This was a baby calf in Mondulkiri. I think it only stopped to do its business. I have a gif of the baby calf and its mum, and it's really cute. And this was in Stung Treng, so it was like it's a swamp kind of, and we rode through it, and there were dead trees everywhere, and it was cool. Okay, this is when I got back home. It's a steampunk butterfly, and there was a lot of people who commented on the blue and orange. They do clash a bit, but I actually really like the blue. It's like, if I had to change something, I would change the orange rather than the blue. It's called the Monarch 846. I just put in 3 random numbers. This was a sketch kind of inspired by Capelia. It's a ballet, look it up. I don't have time to explain it. I really need to hurry. Sketches for that competition which you saw earlier. More sketches for the competition you saw earlier. More sketches. More sketches. Oh yeah, these were concept sketches. One of my friends from a few years ago actually, from back when I was in year 5 and 6, we're working together. She's writing a story because she's a really good writer, and I'm illustrating it. Well, I'm supposed to be, but I haven't done any work on it, so I probably should. These were more concept sketches. I actually really like this one, but we ended up going towards kind of a more dystopian one, but that's a really cool illustration. This is inspired by that drawing of Malaysia which you saw earlier. But we kind of opted for a combination of these two, so that's like it's like the new towers built over the falling ruins. More on that later. More sketches for that competition you saw earlier. I found someone else on DeviantArt who wrote stories, and we're like, hey, why don't we do a collab together? And we kind of started, but then it kind of fell apart, so we didn't anymore. More stuff for the story. Playing with 5-point perspective. Stuff for the other story, which I was working with that guy from DeviantArt. I liked this illustration, but it was the last one I did with that story. This is from Lapito Castle in the Sky. It was a big part of my childhood. I don't like the drawing that much. This was me being quite negative. In different contexts, it would be helpful, but I was just really upset about my stuff, so I took a list of all of the constructive criticisms people left me because I asked for them, and tried to fix them, which didn't really work. This was me practicing gears. It was quite relaxing. Practicing shading, because I got depressed because apparently I couldn't shade, which is kind of stupid. Oh, this was some sketches from the art gallery, so I went to the art gallery to go and sketch with some other people and met some new people, and they were pretty nice. This was another portrait at the art gallery of New South Wales. This was a really weird statuette, actually. It was like a cupid sitting on a mushroom with some other random stuff under the mushroom. Oh yeah, these were shading practices, so I actually used a reference for once. And I didn't continue that for very much. These were sketches for that competition there. Yeah. Basically it was meant to be environmental, so, and leatherback turtles are one of the most threatened species. Gosh, I need to hurry. I'm only one sketchbook in of the 5 which I have. So, yep, I'm just gonna skip it. Another steampunk insect. I hated this one. These were just some kind of like location, like practice studies. Oh yeah, this was meant to be the Snow Queen. Please don't point out the terrible anatomy on the person. I know it sucks. I was experimenting with new techniques like paper cutting, so this is actually 2 layers of paper and masking on the snowflakes and also the gel pen. This was meant to be a steampunk pigeon, but I really didn't like it because it was so... there just wasn't enough contrast. You couldn't see what was happening. This was for my Dystopian Sydney project, which was kind of drawing Sydney but dystopian. Haha, surprise. More on that later in the next sketchbook. I didn't continue it, but I am planning to in a different form. That was character designs for the storybook I was working on. I discontinued doing it this way because it sucked. But I mean, I'm still illustrating it, but I did a cheat thing and put all of the characters as silhouettes, so I don't have to draw faces. Yay. More steam engine studies. This was studies for the white rabbit, the white rabbit thing here. Yep, sketches. Pose studies, because I couldn't do poses. Like, I started with these two, and then I looked up some pictures of ballet dancers and contemporary dancers, and gradually worked up. More pose studies. I did improve a lot in a short space of time. This is the first drawing I did in ink, like, basically ever. And I really liked it. It was inspired by this sci-fi story, which was cool. Another one, and another one. And more pose studies, but this time not dancers. Shading stuff. I think I was trying to learn how to shade metal. Or something like that. Yeah, this was me trying to learn how to write. Yeah, with different fonts. And I just took the longest words, I guess. And random writing. Okay, next book. Hurry. Okay, so this was Dystopian Sydney. It's based, I just wanted to draw Sydney as if it was dystopian, and there's a lot of stuff taken from my own life, so, yeah, more 5-point perspective. This was, so I took some photos of around the area which I live, and then I drew them as if they were dystopian, and I actually really loved the photo I took for that. I still have it. And I did write some stuff, but I'm only going to read the good ones. I loved the design for this one. It's a steampunk pigeon. Yeah, that's it. That's a train that's broken down. I didn't like the illustration, but yeah. It's actually the cat that's outside my school, except dystopian. Steampunk, yeah, that thing. And that's just kind of like a cityscape of Sydney, but dystopian. I stopped this because I felt like it was a bit too shallow. It wasn't really creative, it was just making everything depressing for no reason. So this was my next sketchbook for 2017. And hang on. I feel like I'm missing a sketchbook. Yeah, I'm definitely missing a sketchbook. Okay, one sec. Alright, we are back. I was in fact missing a sketchpad, but I have it here now. This was probably one of my favourite title pages I've ever done for a sketchpad. I liked the concept of this drawing, but gosh, I need to rework it because look at that shading. Look at that shading. But yeah, the concept was really cool. I spent ages designing it, so it was at least somewhat plausible, but not really. I don't remember what this was. It was cool though. Although her skirt's a little see-through. Oh, this was a study, the initial concept for this one. Yeah. I drew this. Everyone thought I was talking about a meme, but no. One of my favorite songs starts with that line. It goes, "Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again." It's called "The Sound of Silence." It's a really good song. I don't remember what I was doing here. I think I was designing robots, and I named them. This one's Harry, and this one's Betty. Oh, yep, Betty. And this one's what does that even say? Elias, yes. And this one's Jess. I like giving them hero names. This was another ink drawing in that series. It's a bug. I don't know. Oh, these were some. I was thinking of starting color pencils because I was trying new things, you know. And one of my favorite artists, Happy D Artist, I'll put her thing in the description. She doesn't know me, but it's awesome. Anyway, yeah, she's pretty cool, and I stole some of her color palettes because that's what you do. And yep, I did a Mother's Day card for my mom with that design. Oh yeah, I started designing cute little robot characters. I didn't like this one that much. It's called Terry. But this one was my favorite. Like, I loved learning the shape language for it. I just loved his entire demeanor, and the cloud is perfect. Yeah. This is a fairy robot. It doesn't really have any story in particular. I just wanted to do kind of a fairy robot which looked like it was on drugs. Yeah. That was a robot which was before, but I never finished the drawing. This is Ugly. That's his name. His name is Ugly. Doesn't necessarily mean he is ugly. It's just his name. It's the way he feels about himself. Yeah. This is another robot which is on drugs. Yeah. His name's Ohm. He's meant to be the Zen robot, but there could be another explanation for that. I was gonna make a brave one, but I didn't like it that much. This was the clown robot. Again, didn't like it that much. This was Rascal, the tricky, mysterious robot. Yeah, he was kind of cute. Oh yeah, this was just the robot house. I just made a whole bunch of random robots and stuck them in a house. And this house is like near where I live as well. There's the clown robot. What's this called? Oh, Ollie. Okay, there's a guy in my class called Ollie. That's, yeah, Rascal again. I didn't like the shading, but it was still cool. Oh, here's one which is actually on drugs. It's called Hemp. But I don't think I ever ended up drawing the final drawing for that. That was just a sketch. Oh, this was some drawing of some of my friends at the athletics carnival. Oh, no, I did do Hemp. There's a guy outside Strathfield Station who holds up a free hug sign. He's like really old, but it's funny and cute and peaceful and it's nice. This was the clown robot. It was more of a composition exercise, but I didn't like the finished drawing very much. I can't remember who drew this. Huh. Well, pretend that I'm sure that wasn't me. I think that was one of my friends. Okay. This was, oh yeah, I liked this one. It was just some fairies. I got into fairies earlier this year. I went through a lot of phases this year. More fairies. I actually took a video of myself just going in random poses and drew myself as a fairy. And then it's just a really short comic of the poor little clown robot. Yeah, it's a mermaid. That's basically it. And I like this one. It was the Tim Burton mermaid, basically. I like her face. That's about all I like. I don't like the body that much, but her face is nice. Sketch this. This one was pretty cool. Just like the entire attitude of it. Yeah. Oh, this was the library. I personally didn't like it that much, but I have a friend who apparently liked it a lot, so maybe I'm just being too harsh on myself. I liked doing that stack of books there and writing all of the random names on it. It's got, like, different fairy tales. I was experimenting with different ways of shading with ink and also random hand. Yeah, that was me in winter when it was raining and I didn't have, yeah. Portraits, yep. Terrible anatomy, let's skip that. Oh yeah, more fairies. I didn't like this one that much. Portraits, yep. Another fairy. This one was kind of cute. I feel like I was sick when I drew this or something. I don't remember. Skull studies. Terrible skull studies. Look at those teeth. I want those teeth, man. I feel like I could work on this a bit more. I didn't like the composition because it was so box-like and the hair kind of screwed things up. But it was a nice idea. These are some gesture studies. I think I drew this in maths class. And I started drawing something for the story I was working on with my friend, and then I got pretty upset about it, so I wrote all over the piece of paper random things which I was upset about, and then you can't read it, so no one can read it. Oh, this was my drunk leprechaun. My friend told me to draw an elf, so I drew a drunk leprechaun. Some texture studies. more texture studies, and someone's engineering stuff. Okay, next sketchbook. This is going to be a pretty long video, and my phone's plugged in right now. So, oh yeah, this was in the Blue Mountains, and this was also in the Blue Mountains, and these were sketches, as usual. Portraits, my dad wanted a tattoo done, but I kind of started it and didn't really go any further with it, because, I don't know, I don't think he's really that into it. So, some portraits of my friends. This was a Shaun Tan study. It's not my work, it's Shaun Tan's. If you don't know who Shaun Tan is, then you should, yeah. It was a storyboard for an animation of the Little Match Girl. It's a fairy tale. It's a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. And basically I wanted to draw it all traditionally and then put it together and animate it on a computer. Only I don't have the patience for that kind of thing. So if you want to see someone who does have the patience for that, then go to my friend, whose link will be in the description. This was my first ever sketchpad. This was my third sketchpad, maybe? Something like that. Sketches, yep. Oh yeah, this was meant to be the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland, because I was testing out colour pencils. I think it looks good, but it's not my style. That was a cute little robot. I was feeling pretty lost. I really wanted to do a concept with like the moon, and this was my first try, and I hated it, so I did some more sketches, and it turned into this, which is honestly one of my favourite artworks from the entire year. It really, I was really lonely when I was drawing this, and that was basically part of it. But if you want to look at it a different way, it's an environmental message as well. Yeah, this is a fallen angel who repaired her wings and went like, haha, you can't kill me. Yeah, done. I don't know any of the actual biblical meanings, it was just an idea, so yeah. This was one of the illustrations from my friend's story, but it was not the final because I didn't like it. This was, oh yeah, this was my second sketch page. I remember now. That was the sketch for what will be the final one. This was a Father's Day present for my dad. I made it into a t-shirt and he really likes it. He still wears it. It's really cute. I don't remember which sketch page this was. It was a sketch page. I really liked doing this drawing. I asked my friends what would go in a witch's cabinet, and I drew all of the random things they said. It's a fairy garden. I didn't like it as much as the witch's cabinet, but it's pretty cool because basically there are these two fairies over here and they're in love. And basically all the other fairies are watching them being like, hey, 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 they're holding hands, etc. Well, this was I don't remember where the drawing went, but I spent painstaking hours on a pointillist drawing of this one, so I put together all the photos myself. It's like, yeah. But I don't have the drawing anymore. Yeah, just skip that. I didn't like that. So this was the final drawing for my friend's story. For this one, anyway. I think this was my favourite sketch pad so far. It was so nice, man. This is the space giraffe. Yeah, it was actually pretty popular on DeviantArt. Yeah, it's cool. Oh yeah, I liked doing this one. I don't think anyone else who I showed really liked it, but it meant a lot to me because I was really, really upset when I was drawing this. I'm not going to go through why, but yeah. So more sketches. More of my lonely little sketches. Oh yeah, one of my friends told me, I think I already made a video on this, but one of my friends told me to personify yogurt, so I personified every other dessert as well. So I got really into Shaun Tan and I tried to make some stuff inspired by him, and if you pretend this little line doesn't exist, that looks pretty cool, and that one too. I sketched some ducks at the park, and then later on I stylized it, and it looked kind of awesome. So, this was some more Shaun Tan inspired stuff. This was the second drawing and last one which I've done so far. I need to do quite a few more. Another sketch page. This one was not quite so successful. More Shaun Tan stuff. I have another video on this, so you can check that out. More kind of not really Shaun Tan stuff. So I was in Double Zoo. This one looks kind of weird. It's meant to be a meerkat. Don't know if you can tell. I like this one though. It's a Siamang, I think. They have a really weird call. More Shaun Tan stuff. I don't like this one, but I really like this one. It's cool. Oh, so yeah, there's just some random studies. I noticed that my outline pens, if they get wet, they bleed, but they also bleed in really cool colors, so like purple and green and stuff. So I was like, hey, maybe I can make them bleed on purpose. These are some Zentangle stuff, and that's the end of the sketchbook. So that brings us on to Inktober. I'm not going to spend very long on this because I already have an Inktober flip through video. So, yeah. This is my final sketchpad for 2017. I'm still working on it. So, we have a pretty nice cover here. Look at this. Very steampunk. And then these were some of the sketches for Inktober. So I was working on them simultaneously. Oh. Yep, weird sketches. I made a prompt list for December, which I didn't end up doing. So it's an imaginary friend. Again, I was going through some stuff. Yeah. But it's a cool drawing. So this is inspired by some of the stuff I did with Inktober. I got into them kind of like an underwater funk because they always look cool. So I don't think anyone else finds this as funny as I do. It's like when you laugh at your own joke. Lol. But I find it funny because it's a fish wearing a submarine helmet. Like, fish should be able to breathe underwater anyway, but it can't. That didn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. So, some doodles which turned into something else. Bad drawings. Oh yeah, this was a sketch for, I'll just bring it out now, my cello drawing, which I really liked. I liked this drawing. I have another video on that, so. Yep, stuff. This is for my Xena month challenge next year. You can look forward to that. This was the Steampunk Lion King, which I did concept sketches for way back at the beginning of the year. Some futuristic things. It was actually inspired by my history class where we were doing stuff about World War I and they had tanks and stuff, and I was like, hey, let's draw some not a tanks. Yeah, this was the original sketch for this one, which I didn't like as much. I liked the watercolor and gouache stuff though, like these things here. And then I just had some cacti. Yeah. My friend who asked me to draw an elf was the one who suggested cacti here, and it was cool. Some gouache studies. And I was trying to draw Lyra from the Golden Compass, but it didn't work. Hand studies. Don't ask me why I did purple. I have no idea myself. I can't really explain any of these. Oh, these are my plans for Dystopian Sydney reworked. This is another one which I find funny but nobody else does. So basically I find it funny because jellyfish aren't supposed to have a brain, but it has a brain. That's totally hilarious. And these are just some, I wanted to come up with as many different patterns as I could, basically. This was meant to be sketch page, but I never finished the video. So, yeah, it's a sketch page. And, oops, I was not supposed to show that. Yeah, Christmassy stuff. This was a steampunk poodle. Steampunk poodle, yeah. No, it's a steampunk turtle. And this is an actual watch battery. I took in all the details on a watch battery and drew it. And I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I went to school spec, and some people I met there drew my sketchbook. Some little monster drawings inspired by some other artists whose name I... these were some monster studies inspired by some artists whose name I forget currently. This was probably the first time I've ever used a photo reference for a portrait. And because normally I don't like using references. I mean, I know they're very useful, and you definitely should use them. Don't be like me. But I just don't enjoy using them as much, and I do art for fun, so you know. But I took a reference of my own face and I distorted it a bit, so I made the eyes quite a bit bigger and I made my face quite a bit smoother, so it looked kind of fantasy-like, and I added a jellyfish on her head, because why not? And it looked pretty cool. Alright, guys, I'm going to call this my last drawing for 2017. Actually, there was another one, but it sucked, so... So... this is it. And I just wanted to draw a messy desk. I've been talking for a while, but put in some other deep and meaningful stuff, and now it's not just a messy desk anymore. So in a moment I'm going to go back and grab that first thing from 2017 and do a side-by-side comparison. First, this is my first thing only using gouache, and it's on normal paper, so there's no canvas or anything, which is probably why it doesn't look that great. The face is okay though. Basically it's meant to be, it's like a mermaid, but instead of being half fish, half person, it's half turtle, half person. Okay, anyway, getting back to this. Start of 2017 versus end of 2017. Pretty awesome, right? It's like it was done by two different people. Because my art style's changed quite a lot this year. I mean, I went from pencil drawing to drawing with color pen, to pen drawing different landscapes, and then to doing cute robots in color pencil and pen, and then I had a fairies phage, and then I went back to steampunk, but in pen this time, and then I started doing some gouache stuff as well. So it's been a big year. Thanks for watching, you guys. Happy New Year.